Hey guys, welcome to the next part of the Q&A series. I think this is part 6 now. I'm trying to get through these much quicker. I have now, let me see how many pages are left. There's 5 pages, but there are a lot of questions on them. I do want to respond to one thing that I've been getting a lot of messages about on MJ's new video. He said one thing, that all the around the towns were fake and scripted. I do want to respond to that there never was like a script for the around the towns. There was a couple of them. I guess this could be considered a question since I've been getting this like a lot lately on the last day. Sometimes we did things in them where we came up with certain things like we got in a big fight or we did this. But there was never like a script, like we never were doing this or anything like that. So, I mean, wasn't sure what he meant by that comment. Like, there were some times when he was upset, and I know he said a lot of times that he was, acting upset in the videos. And I think that was the case sometimes, but sometimes I think he was just in an upset mood. I mean, everybody's like that. But, I mean, I don't really want to say too much about it. But please don't think they're all fake, because, I mean, they really weren't. I mean, they were really just what we went out and did. I don't know exactly what's going on with that comment, but I did want to respond, so don't think that, because, I mean, especially like when I go out with my family lately, I mean, that's just what we're doing. So I was a little upset by that comment, so I just wanted to respond to that. Anyway, now on to the first question. Do you like the movie Inception, or have you seen it? Do you like Tyler, the creator? Because I know from what Dweebo has said, he's really into him. And do you like the new Disney film Cars? Move this around so I can see it better. Movie from Cars. And what are some of your favorite modern Nick and MTV shows? I never actually watched Inception. I really was not interested. I've listened to some of the Tyler, the Creator's music. I thought it was okay. Not really my style, but my brother really likes it. Disney Cars. Out of all the Pixar movies, for some reason Cars was one of them that I did not like too much. I don't know why. I just wasn't as into that movie as I was I really like WALL-E a lot. That was pretty much one of my favorite ones. And the other question was, do you like what are your favorite modern Nick? I don't think I watch anything at all on Nick like that's new. I don't think I do anything. I know Nick, though, Nick at Night or Nicktoons or Teen Nick or something is going to start putting things like Salute Your Shorts and stuff back on. And hopefully that means they're going to start to put DVDs out of like Salute Your Shorts. I know they're going to put out Hey Dude, which was kind of the one that everybody sort of thought was sort of cheesy and didn't like as much, but they're putting it out anyway. It was okay, though. And MTV shows, I don't know. I don't really watch anything on them. Let's see, do your favorite comedies from the 21st century. Yeah, I do need to do that at some point. Favorite comedians? Probably people like, like Rodney Dangerfield. I always liked his style of comedy. I don't know, when I think of stand-up comedians, that was the one I really always liked. I liked his jokes. I don't know. I don't know who offhand would I say were some of my other favorites. Probably George Carlin. Would be another favorite, though. I notice you're always wearing a black shirt and black hat most of the time. Have you ever thought about wearing different colors or types of shirts other than t-shirts? I don't like anything but t-shirts. I think it would look good. No judgment here. I'm just curious. I have a closet. I don't think you can't really see it behind me, but it's basically all black and blue shirts. It's like about, I don't know, 15 or 20 of them. I'm a little bit like Ernest P. Worrell. I wear the same stuff. That's sort of just the way I am. But, for films and stuff, normally, I mean, if they have a wardrobe and stuff, I'm not wearing this. But the ones when they don't have wardrobes, you're seeing me in these same outfits most of the time. Or they don't tell me what to wear. Hey, love your videos. Just wanted to ask, have you seen Zombieland? What was your favorite? Scream 1, 2, 3, or 4? I have seen Zombieland. I did like that. I'm definitely interested in seeing the sequel if they do that. And Scream, I think the first one's the best, and I did like the fourth one. Which is the best, the original Fly or the remake? Well, the original Fly is really cool, but the remake with Jeff Goldblum, I don't know, I really like that a lot. I love the stuff, too, when he's starting to fall apart. And it's a very creepy movie. Hey, Sean, AJ here. I wanted to know, have you seen the 1969 film The First Time, starring young Jacqueline Bisset? I love the movie. If so, what do you think of it? I have not seen that one. Hey Sean, do you reckon that Jackie or Haley played a good job as Freddy Krueger, or do you reckon Robert Englund is the only actor to play Freddy? I think they should have just had Robert Englund play him again. I mean, Jackie Earle Hay really did a fine job, I thought, but I mean, he did what he had to do. You know, I mean, he had the part. He just sort of did what he could with it. You know, he probably was sitting there the whole time doing it, going, "This is Robert Englund's part." But you know, there's certain people that you really like. You know, when you have people like Michael Myers and Jason. I mean, it's both. You know, Kane Hodder is who I would always say is good to play Jason, but it's not like as crucial with a part like that, since it's a person in a mask and they're not talking. But for a character like Freddy, I think it really is crucial. I mean, even with the new Child's Play, they're having Brad Devoff, I always mess the name up, but having him do the voice as Chucky, and I think that's the smart move because there's no other person who could do that voice, and it's the same kind of thing I think with Freddy. Do you like pro wrestling DVDs? I've never really been too into wrestling stuff. Does the Wolfman have nards? Probably. Do you like the Page Master? I I don't know. I always thought kind of turned the movie off as a kid. I kind of disliked when it became animation. For some reason, as a kid, I just wanted to see it. I liked the first like 5 or 10 minutes, and then I wished it was like that the whole time. I didn't want to see it as an animated movie. Have you ever watched the trailer to the YouTube series Marble Hornets? It's based off a Boogeyman type character called Slender Man. Roger Ebert wrote a brief tweet about it and seemed to enjoy it. No, I've never heard of that. Um, if you know, if I'd like to know if you've ever seen the movie Dead Alive. In my opinion, that has to be one of the bloodiest movies I've ever seen in my life, especially the lawnmower scene. Tell me what you thought of this movie and if you agree about it being one of the bloodiest movies of all time. I also think this is one of the funniest horror movies I've ever seen. Tell me if you agree. I do. I have seen that. I do wish Peter Jackson would do another horror movie again, a real gory, out there horror movie, because it is kind of funny when you see how he's doing like ultra mainstream movies when he used to make these like really low budget, crazy movies like, you know, that are so out there, and then you look at what he's doing now. It's just so different. Have you ever? Do you have an education or plan to pursue education on filming or acting? No, I mean I did. I did go to Sheffield for a film program, which was a year, which was like shooting, editing, and then I did take some acting classes at school, and I did do college for about a half or two a year. Not really my bag. Really like to just go out and do it. And my advice too for like people, you know, especially for acting and filmmaking, the way things are now, with the fact that you can buy, anybody can get a camera and anybody can edit it, and it's not like years ago where, you know, it was so difficult to get into this field. It's so much easier. I mean, if you want to make a movie, you go to Walmart, you buy a camera, you get editing software, you know, and you can be making it, and you know, right away. And it, you know, who knows what could happen with it. And that's the truth with it. And the thing is, anybody has access to the equipment that Hollywood's using, cameras. Like anybody could rent the Red. If they have the money for it, they can rent the Red camera. And it's very different now when you think about it. So I think if you really want to do that, you know, get a crew together that knows what they're doing, and you can kind of be the one. You know, I mean, it's different. You can really do things now. Um, would you recommend getting a point and shoot camera like a Flip Ultra? I know flip cameras. They said they're discontinuing them because of what phones can do now, like the, you know, iPhone and stuff. But they're really going down in price. I mean, I've seen them now for like $60, and so I would definitely recommend getting one. I mean, I think they're very good picture. Um, so I would definitely recommend getting that. How many days, hours a week do you spend watching movies? Um, I usually watch something at night. I usually don't start watching stuff until later. More like, you know, so I'm up late. I'm one of those kind of people who's like a night owl, up all the time late. So I don't really start watching stuff until usually like 10, 11 at night. And then I'm up till like 5 watching stuff. But I watch a lot of TV stuff lately, you know. But I don't know, maybe I try to watch a movie at night, you know, if I can. But then there's some days when I'll go and just catch up on things and watch like 3 movies in a row and stuff. For a TV setup, it's an HD TV. I think it's like 42 inches. And I do have a surround system. I don't use it all the time, though. I watch sometimes. And have you checked out the new 3D TVs yet? At some point, I'll get a 3D TV. You know, it's not something that I'm not concerned with. Sometimes you get a bit of a headache from it. So it's not something that I'm not crazy about. I did say if I was ever in a 3D movie, I'd have to get it. And I did do a low-budget 3D horror movie. So at some point, that will be out so you can see me in 3D. So if you're wondering what I'm like if I'm a little bit closer to you, in 3D, you can see that Bloody Mary 3D. I know you've moved on to newer formats, but are there any VHS you'd like to recommend getting? I haven't bought a VHS tape in like about a year. I need to go back to like the Goodwill and stuff, and look at them. But I haven't been interested in buying them as much anymore. I had the DVD recorder that broke, and that's how I had the VCR hooked up to it. So I need to rehook it up properly. But I haven't really, when I moved, I got rid of so many tapes. Most of them though are in MJ's house, so he's got a lot of the tapes still. Because when I was in his room, it almost freaked me out when I was there last. Like, in his room, there's like stacks and stacks. It's like looking back at what was in my old house. Of all these old cartoon shows and random movies. It's just weird shit to be in there and looking at all my old stuff. Hey, Sean, love your videos. Have you seen the Human Centipede first sequence? If so, what do you think of it? I really liked it. A lot of people were grossed out by it. I thought it was pretty good. I'm definitely interested in seeing the sequel. I was disappointed, though, to hear the one girl is not in the new one. But apparently it's a totally new story, though. Hey, Sean, do you think they should make Back to the Future 4? I think Michael J. Fox would be able to come back for a cameo or something, just so they could, have him in it. I would like to see it. And, Christopher Lloyd would have to still be the star of it and somehow. And, maybe they could get back, Crispin Glover and stuff. I don't know if he would do it. I mean, I think maybe he might now, because I feel like I think he made peace with the movie because he was talking more about it lately in some interviews, so I don't know if he would or not. Sean, what would happen if a DVD melted and became a Blu-ray? Would you freeze it and turn it into a 3D copy of Avatar? I don't know. Have you ever thought about doing a giveaway, and have you been in trouble with the law? No, I've never been arrested or anything like that. I've never had anything like that. Maybe at some point for something, like if I ever got a bunch of copies of something that I did or something, I would like to do a giveaway of the movie, something like that. What is your favorite Mr. Bean episode or sketch? Have you got the VHS tapes we saw in the earlier videos when you showed all the VHS tapes you had? Hope you reply in part 2 or maybe 3 of this. Thanks. Well, I do, for Mr. Bean, I love so many different ones that I like. The pool one with the diving board, the one when he was going shopping. I was a little upset, though, that the DVD cut a few of the stuff out of the episodes. Like when he was screwing around with the chair with the old woman. I love that piece. And that was out. And I don't know why they were out. I never could figure out why. That was probably one of the favorite ones. The one when he went back to school. I guess so many of them I liked. The tapes, like I said, most of those are gone. I still have like a thing like this high with a bunch of them. But most of them, like I said, either went in the dumpster, and if MJ didn't want them, that was when they went in the dumpster. So I think that's all the other ones. Did you watch Troll Hunter? I have not seen that. Would you ever consider recording a full album of the songs? And if so, what genre would it be? I don't know, at some point maybe. I would have to find someone to do the music so I could have, songs that were specifically made for it. Do you watch Family Guy? Never really was too into that. Do you think Megan Fox was hot? Never cared too much for Megan Fox. I don't know. I don't know. She's not someone that I would be like, ooh. What's your favorite Twilight Zone episode? Probably the Demon on the Plane one. The thing on the plane. There was one, too, with the doll that I remembered liking a lot. And I always mix them up with the Outer Limits sometimes. So that might have been an Outer Limits episode. But there was a lot of them that I liked. Have you ever found any new awesome DVD place where you buy DVDs and Blu-rays? Well, the best place out here, I'm going to have to drive out to it, is like an hour and a half in LA, is the Amoeba Records. That I would recommend is like one of the best ones. And there's a couple places that I found around here. But I actually go to sometimes the Blockbusters, too, if you want to find random stuff. But nowadays, I just find everything on Amazon. And up until recently, I've had no problems with, like, not getting something. It's the first time ever I have not gotten something I've ordered. The person's kind of screwed with me a little bit about it. It wasn't expensive, but it's just annoying. Like, that's why you don't order from people with, like, a stupid name on there. Like, she had some kind of a weird name. And I don't remember what it was. I'm not going to say the name anyway, but like normally you have to, like when it's somebody that's actually a store, like when you buy them used and you buy them from like a store like CD Warehouse or something, it's okay. But I think this was from some random person that like lost it in the mail or didn't send it. I don't know what happened. Um, do people often come up to you and ask for autographs and such when you're out? Do you consider yourself somewhat of a celebrity? Can you please say hi to your fans in Sweden? Well, hello, Sweden fans. Um, No, I've never had anybody want an autograph. I've had people who actually did at Comic-Con, but I had people that, like, come up to me and said they've seen my videos. And there was one time, like, maybe a month ago, where it was like 3 days in a row people kept recognizing me from stuff. Um, I don't really think I'm more a celebrity, more just a personality that does stuff. And, who knows if any of the movies that I've done take off. Maybe people will know me for more of that stuff. You never know. But I don't say I'm a celebrity. I mean, I know people think of me like that. Some people do. And, it's nice that people think of me like that. But that's not how I see myself personally. And even if I ever did get to that point, I still probably wouldn't see myself like that. Um, do you like TV series like Are You Afraid of the Dark? What episodes, seasons, and why? I love Afraid of the Dark. I think all the seasons of that were good. I mean, even the ones when they came back and the kids were different, all but like one or two of the kids were different. I even liked it then too. I mean, they weren't as good. I think the first, second, early seasons of Afraid of the Dark were a little bit better. I thought they were a little creepier. I think they toned them down a little tiny bit near the end. But like some of the early ones were pretty creepy. I think there definitely were, PG-13 level, some of them. And, I don't know, I always liked that show. Goosebumps was always kind of the cheesy version of it. They kind of, like, didn't have money for the set sometimes, and you could tell they were using stuff again, and some of the actors weren't that good. I like Goosebumps. I watched them, but they were just not at all as good. Did I delete the one by mistake? Hold on. Do you believe in the transition to audio in movies led to the decreased acting? If it didn't transition, would movies have better acting? I don't know what that means. Do you know where I can get a Region 1 DVD player here in the UK? I would probably just say eBay, or like something, or just get a Region free player. Who is your favorite actor? And what do you think of the Fast and Furious series? I've actually never watched the Fast and Furious movies. Favorite actor? That I don't know. There's so many different people. Will you ever make a video with Shane Jensen? I'd love to see a Friday Night Ritual with you and him or around the town. Yeah, I would love to do that. Like I've invited Shane too to come out here sometime. We could shoot some vlogs and stuff. So hopefully at some point down the line. When I look back, though, I wish that I did not. For some reason, I didn't do some things I should have done. Like when I was in Maryland, I should have just taken a train to New York and met him there. I didn't realize some things that I could have done. Like I didn't even realize back then I could have gone to Atlantic City. It was so much closer. This stuff when you look back, you're like, why didn't I do that? you know. When do you think we'll see Joe Franz again? Maybe in the sometime in the fall or something when he comes to visit. Have you seen Bad Biology? I have talked about that, one of the other ones. Let me see. Do you know the Guinea Pig series? Have you seen them? What is your opinion on the series? I have never actually watched those. Your favorite meal? Probably Mexican food. Because I don't usually really eat lunch. I usually just eat dinner. What will you do when you don't have more place or shelves in your room? What I do is I just get rid of stuff if I don't like it anymore. And I kind of try and keep it to a certain level. Like I go through and try and say, okay, do I really need this? Or if I buy one of those things that's like a 4-movie pack with them all on there, as long as they're the same versions, I just get rid of the other ones. Things like that. Have you seen Itchy the Killer? I have never seen that. A lot of people have asked that, though. Well, anyway, this has been 20 minutes, so thanks a lot for watching, guys. And yeah, and the thing at the beginning, I just sort of just wanted to clear that up because it was just kind of, like, MJ is right at some points that, some of the things we did, like we got in the fight about prom night, that video, and some of those ones where we had little things like that. But just don't go and think that everything was scripted, because that's crazy. I mean, most of it was just us going out. Like, it almost sort of threw me for one, because I'm kind of like, how do we script out when we just went out and got pizza and went home? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, though, thanks a lot for watching, for subscribing. And I think now, in less than 2 weeks now, till the San Diego Comic-Con, which I'll be at. So I can't wait for that. So hopefully some of you guys will be there. I'm going to do a video probably like a day or two before. Just say, if you see me there, say hello. Anyway, though, I'll see you guys later. Bye.